It's Thursday night, and you know what that means? Just a bit outside radio show live on the air. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. I think it's been a while since I shouted out the socials, so if you're watching on one, want to check us out on the other, on YouTube, JABO Radio Show, JABO Radio Show on Facebook, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show dash JABO. And sometimes, once every couple months, I decide to tweet something, and that's at JAB Outside Radio. Share the link, share the love as always. And as always, you got Mark, you got Keisha. Keisha, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, Mark? What's poppin', outsiders? Getting it jamming on a Thursday night, smack dab in the middle of the Olympics, and boy, has it been awesome up there in Paris, France. It's been pretty exciting this go around.
Yeah. I know, like, before I said, like, usually I'm not hyped for the Olympics, but for some reason this year's just got me, and it's living up to the expectations.
Yeah, I think, with all the craziness and the way that everything went with Tokyo last year, I think that fed into the added excitement of this year's Olympic Games. I mean, we had a lot of comebacks.
Yeah.
If you guys have been, watching, it's not just Simone Biles, but there were other athletes that had, troubles and drama, and during Tokyo, and there's some other athletes out there that made a comeback this year, and there's just I feel like it's a few more feel-good stories this year than normal.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah! So let's get into it. I'm gonna start things off by, of course, talking about the Olympics. I mean, that's the biggest thing going right now. First things first, like today, the men's U.S. basketball team squeaked out a big win in the gold medal game versus Serbia, and we talked a little bit about the men's team prior to the Olympics, but there was a lot of chatter about these two basketball teams, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like the whole time everybody knew that they were going to be on a collision course to meet in the finals, and Joker, and his squad, they did very well. I mean, they had the chokehold on the game all three quarters, and I don't know. I guess that sense of urgency kicked in for the U.S. and they ended up winning by 4 points.
94-91, I believe.
3 points. Okay,
Yeah.
3 points. 3 points. And, I was working during the day, but I could very much tell by my socials that Olympic fans all across the United States were shitting the bed, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of scaredness. I don't even know what to put it like. I mean, there are people out there cussing Steve Kerr out, just ready to jump out the window. It was wild, but I didn't doubt him for a second. I gotta tell you, my pockets were pretty happy because I had the Team USA winning by 1 to 10 points.
Nice.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be an ass whipping like the first time around. I mean, it's Nikola Jokic. You know what I mean? Like, and Bogdan, and they got some pretty good players on that squad. And I just didn't think they were going to take an ass whipping twice, especially not in the gold medal games. I figured everybody would just leave it all out there on the basketball court.
I gotta admit, I mean, like, the game before this, the USA put on a beatdown on who they played. I forget who they played, but it was like 130 to 80 or something like that. And I mean, I know Serbia has a couple of NBA players, but we got a team full of them. So
yeah.
I would have thought like the score is a little bit more lopsided, but shout out to Serbia, man. They kept it close all the way.
All the way. I'm telling you. So, big shout out to Team USA securing that gold medal. Of course, the women's team is on deck next, and they have one hell of a winning streak going down. Do you know how many wins it is? 32 or something like that.
I'm not sure exactly.
I think it's like, I think it's like in the 30s, you know? I know that they have won 6 consecutive gold medals, which is a hell of a streak in itself, but they haven't lost for like decades.
You know, before we get really deep in this, and also because we got a message and I just want to let you know secretly so no one hears this part, but why don't we bring in Jana and talk all this Olympic goodness with her?
Oh, okay. So she's
She said to give her a call.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Well, hold it down while I patch her in, Mark.
Oh yeah. And that was my not so secret way of getting Jana on, because Jana is obsessed with the Olympics. If you're not on her friends list, let me just say, like, every little post, everything's on there. Her stories. She's got like scores and stats of sports I ain't never heard of, and you know, always shout out the USA team. So I'm very excited to bring her on because she's probably gonna school Keisha and I on every little sport. I get up early in the morning to go to work, and I work from home, so I click on the TV and I'll have the games playing because, you know, it's France, so they're already going at 6 a.m. here, our time. And I'll flip through Peacock because they got all the sports going, all the live stuff. And the sports on there are wild.
Yo, Mark.
Hello.
Jana. Yes. Okay. Yes. We got Jana in the house, and like Mark was saying, you know, there are. We all have that one friend that is like completely locked in that we rely on for all Olympic updates and to fill us in on the things that we have missed.
Hey,
and that is totally Jana. That's totally Jana.
When you were calling Jana and you know I was filling the air, I was saying, like, her stories, like, she'll have sports I ain't never heard of, but she's supporting every team that's out there for them.
Yeah, and you know, just for me to say while I was patching her in, you know, I asked her about the women's basketball team, and of course she's very knowledgeable, more knowledgeable than you and I, Mark. I think we have to step our game up. But the women's team USA, as we were just talking before I patched Jana in, they have a pretty impressive win streak in the Olympics. And Mark, you know, right before I clicked her in, I was saying something around 32 or 33. I was grossly mistaken.
Uh-oh. What's Jana say it is?
59 consecutive wins,
Holy
dude.
Wow.
Right? I was like, really? Is that many? I've watched that many games?
I don't think that they get I know they do not get the credit they deserve. Everybody is looking at the men's team, and I appreciate the men's team. I didn't see all of the games today. I do know it was a tough one against Serbia, but yeah, like, they don't get the credit they deserve. And then as for your opening comment, thank you very much. But I actually had somebody tell me, like, I get my updates from your story. So can you please keep posting these? And I was like, okay. And every night I get this batch of likes because that's how she catches up on the day. So shout out to Melissa Fry. But yes, that is why I keep posting them. And yes, it's sports I never heard of, but wherever we medal, I gotta post it.
Hell
so
yeah.
I'm a wee bit obsessed with the Olympics right now.
Yes. That's why we had to have you on today, because, you know, I mean, Mark and I were both, you know, texting offline, and I was thinking you. I swear to God, I was thinking you, and as I was thinking you, you know, Mark put it out there, and I was like, dude, you know, I don't know what it is about us. Maybe it's because we've been doing this thing so long, but I swear, Mark has a little compartment in my head where he lives. So we both agreed, like, hell yeah, it's a great idea to have you on. So, let's continue this Olympic conversation. What I wanted to do, you guys, because we, like Jana said, she made a perfect point. There are a lot of athletes in sports that just don't get the burn that they deserve or the notoriety. And I thought it would be a good idea for us to talk a little bit about the quote unquote other sports. Those sports that you really don't hear about a lot, but you rather enjoy watching, or you might have even gotten familiar with this season. This Olympic Games. There was I felt like steeplechase. That event got a lot more burn than it normally does this year.
Yeah. I actually
there were a lot of people watching that, and I fully watched. I know for me, I fully watched the competition myself.
Same.
For the first time this year.
My unsung hero, my dark horse was sport climbing.
Okay. What was that about? I missed that one.
So I cut the cord, so I don't have cable, so I have Hulu, and I have Hulu and Peacock. And,
Me too.
There are 2 channels on Hulu right now that are Paris extras.
Okay.
They're in the lineup right after Paramount Plus. And I turned to the first, because I don't know, I honestly didn't look at the other channel to see if they were showing the same thing or not, but I go to the first one in the listing, and I was like, what the hell is this? And it's like rock climbing, but strategic rock climbing, so it's not like that speed climb up the wall that I saw one, I don't even know that girl. That girl flew up that wall so fast, I didn't even, I couldn't even process it. That's how fast she went up. But it's not that same, like, rock climbing wall type of wall. It's like, there are different point values, and they time you on how fast you touch those particular points. It is the weirdest thing. It might be like 6 rocks on the wall, and you have to, like, use the chalk and whatever else to, like, in essence, stick yourself to the wall, because if you get like 3 attempts or however many attempts in a certain amount of time, it is the weirdest thing I have ever seen. And I was like, who the hell thinks of this stuff? And in what country are you, like, competing to go to the Olympics to do this?
So it's more like a technique type of thing.
Yeah,
okay.
It was I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a 5-point value, a 10-point value, and the one all the way at the top was 25-point value. But it was just the strangest thing. I like you, like both of you, and many people listening have found those dark horse unsung hero, like, wow, this really got me all in the Olympics. Like you with steeplechase. I was like, how the hell did they do this? It's a random sport.
Right. They're saying about steeplechase, it's like the ultimate endurance test. And, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that sits home and thinks this while you're watching these athletes, even though you're in no capacity or nowhere near as much shape as the people that you're watching on TV. But you can't help but wonder, can I do that? Would I be able to do that? Yeah. But,
count me out for sports climbing.
Yeah. Oh, girl. Me too. Because I've developed this thing with heights, so I probably wouldn't get past the second peg. For real.
So we'll talk about that another day. We have to figure that one out.
But Mark, so what other sports have you been enjoying this go around?
Enjoying or new to me? Because I don't want
to. New. Take your pick, man. Take your pick.
Well, kind of. Okay. Yeah, what's new to me, or I seem to like recall hearing about it every time, but it just doesn't stick in the memory. So like it's new every single Olympics. And I had a conversation with some friends about it this morning. Was speed walking, or race walking.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay.
And if you remember, like back in the 80s, like walking like really took off as a big thing, and maybe even like clubs and shit, and that's where it really, like, instead of jogging, people were walking, and we do it for leisure now. But so I kind of did a deep dive on this, and did you know race walking has been in the Olympics since 1904?
Wow.
Yeah, and it used to be.
This speed walking is not new.
It's not new, not at all. They used to do
People make it seem like it's new,
right? Just because it sounds.
Walking for an Olympic medal is not new.
Right? I mean, we're so used to like the triple jump, the high jump, the pole vault.
Yeah.
The sprints and the hurdles and everything, and here people are walking. But what's crazy is, like, for the field that competes at the Olympics, it used to be 60, but they lowered the pool down to 48 this year for the different divisions. But they actually expanded the divisions out and made more divisions, so I guess there's more people actually doing it, even though the fields are smaller.
Jig it. That's wow. That's something new. That is definitely something new for me.
Now,
I'm also go ahead.
There's a new sport for everyone. You know the new sport this year? Because there's a new event every Olympics. And this year's new event, breakdancing.
Oh, yes, I did hear about that. Yes, I did.
Isn't that wild?
Yes. And I know that we had athletes competing, correct?
I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah, because I mean, we should, because I mean, hell, it was born in the Bronx,
right?
So we better have somebody. I hope we had somebody representing for the U.S. and for that, at least for that particular competition. I mean, gosh, and Jana, you talked about Peacock, the app. I gotta give a shout out to Peacock, because I mean that's how I remain locked in for this year's Olympic Games. And they have it to whereas you can legit pick whatever you want to watch that's live at the time.
They break it down by every single sport, and then they break it down by everything that's live. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and then with the multi-views.
Yeah.
Too. Those are pretty slick, because like they have a section where they have the multi-views where you can watch important events like, semifinals, finals, medal events. So you can watch these things all at the same time. So, Peacock has been doing a really great job of keeping us locked in during these Olympic Games. I mean, the only person that's doing better is Jana, obviously.
Hey, look, but the multi-views are great, except for when I had it on ping pong, I just could not keep track of it all.
Oh my gosh, dude! I was watching ping pong at like it was like 5-6 o'clock this morning. Yeah, because I woke and see this is what the Olympics will do to you. It'll completely throw your sleeping pattern off. Like suddenly you're on Parisian time. Dude, I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, and I looked at my phone number like 4 o'clock. Oh my God, track and field. So I immediately, here I am, 4 o'clock in the morning, sitting up in my bed, cutting on the Peacock app. And I watched the gentlemen run. It was the semifinal races.
Yeah.
It was the semifinal men's 200. I watched that. They were talking about the women getting ready to run, and you guys, I was sitting up in bed, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get ready to watch the girls. I think it was the 4x100 relay race that was about to come on, right? And the last thing I remember is me being pumped to watch this race, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up, and there are people screaming. And it was like, not like a whole lot of people. It was like 10 or 20 people screaming. And I'm like, what the hell? I had fallen asleep. Okay, missed the women's race, but woke up to ping pong. And of course, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll watch it. But it was like people screaming when somebody had won a point or something like that. I think China was playing. But it was hilarious because I was like, this isn't track and field. What the hell happened? But I got, like I said, I mean, the Olympics throw your sleeping pattern off. It's because of these things that you get to watch some of these other events, and become acquainted with other athletes and hear all of these feel-good stories. Do you guys have any feel-good stories that you'd like to highlight tonight? How about we start with Mark?
Well, I'm going to go back to my hometown. And
okay.
I was kind of pleased with how big of a story it became because they were talking about him all over the Olympics. But that's, in beach volleyball, we did pretty good. I think they got to the semifinals. Yes. Chase Budinger. He, of course, he played in the NBA for a few years. And he goes back to University of Arizona. He was a Wildcat on the basketball team there. And fun fact, when I was working at the hotel back there by the university, we actually hosted the basketball team for dinner the night before the games. And it was in the Chase Budinger era, so I saw him like all the time. And really awesome to see how he's turned into a whole different sport. I was reading up a little, like, he lives over in, like, San Diego now, lives, like, he gets up, bikes down to the beach, and just, like, does volleyball on the beach for, like, 8 hours a day. I mean, that's his job now. But, to go from the NBA to beach volleyball and get to Olympic level, that's amazing.
Wow.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, and that's pretty. That is a great story.
Hell yeah!
And he's gonna get one hell of a celebration when he comes home.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. You got any feel good stories, Jana? The ones that jumped out at you?
There've been a couple. I think I'm most proud of. I honestly right now cannot think of one in this moment. But just the level of dedication, a lot of this having to do, just working all these random jobs. Like one of our runners, what is the? Please don't get. I have no idea who is who right now because a lot of the updates I'm getting are not only the ones I'm seeing and posting, but I get them out after the fact because I'm at work. I can't see it all. So I'd wait till the recap at night. So I don't have all their names, but if I'm not mistaken, she's like a scientist or something. She just won yesterday.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know if she. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can't even say not to be like light-skinned girl, long ponytail, but everybody's been wearing long ponytails, and everybody can't find out. Like to me right now because I don't see him enough. I don't mean to. I hate to be that person. But he's like a scientist by day, but like Olympian by night. Like I think all of them to some degree have some inspirational story. I mean, down to Simone's in the city, like the ones that we've been hearing about for the past few weeks at a time. Like all of it, just the dedication, I can't even. There's nothing I enjoy doing that much.
Right. That requires that level of dedication.
Yes. And focus and just determination. And, I mean, cheers to all of them, all the countries. I'm sure there are worse off stories of athletes, but I just, kudos and compliments to all of them.
Yeah, I mean it's very humbling to watch because we all have our 40-hour-a-week jobs, right? We have a bad day. We talk about our bad day and we just think that it's so horrible. But when you look at these Olympic athletes, it really puts things into perspective. At least it does for me, because it's like, I'm worried about this, or I'm complaining about this bad day, this 8-hour bad day. But there are athletes out there that give, 80 hours a week towards a sport. And I'm not just talking about training. Like you said, I mean, there were several athletes that had worked several jobs just to put them through a sport.
Yes.
Which leads me to another one of the feel-good stories out there.
Yes.
The U.S. women's polo team.
Bless you.
And thank you. Sorry about that. But the U.S. women's polo team, they had several athletes that were working multiple jobs and training and practicing just to keep their Olympic dreams alive, because they didn't have the sponsorship that some of the other sports had. And Flavor Flav stepped in. Did you hear about that one, Mark?
Yeah, that's an amazing story.
Yeah, absolutely. Stepped in, provided sponsorship, provided money for these girls to help them achieve their dreams. And they played in the semifinals today. Unfortunately, they lost, but they will be competing for a bronze medal, so that is pretty good. That's still great. Shout out to the women's polo team. But there was another amazing story that I'd like to talk about, and it's also about one of those other sports that I was referring to earlier today.
Okay.
So there is an athlete. Her name is, and I'm going to try my best to say this. It's Annette Chukwuloke.
Bless you.
Okay? She's from Pickerton, Ohio. All right? And 3 years ago, this young lady showed up at the Tokyo Olympics ready to compete in the hammer throw. Right? Spent, like we just talked about, sacrifice and dedication, dedicated herself to compete in these Tokyo Olympic Games. She celebrated her 25th birthday in the Olympic Village, and like a day before the competition was supposed to start, this athlete had learned that administrative errors made by the Nigerian Federation team, who she was representing, led to her missing doping tests.
No.
She was disqualified.
What?
Yes. You guys didn't hear about this? Oh my God, it's so freaking amazing. Okay, so she pretty much got screwed over at the Tokyo Olympics, right? Girlfriends, and I made a reference that she's from Pickerton, Ohio.
Yeah.
So this girl said, screw this. She got up with the USA, got all her paperwork, fully transferred to Team USA's track and field team, and competed this year for the United States of America and won the women's hammer final. First time ever in the history of United States sports as a woman won a gold medal at hammer throw.
Oh, wow.
See, I put that up there, but I didn't know that backstory. That's incredible.
Isn't that crazy? Like, when I heard about that, I was like, man, this might be one of the best stories there ever was, because there is nothing worse, than watching an athlete who dedicates 4 years of their life. And when I say dedicate, I'm talking about a level of sacrifice that most of us will never know. Miss out on something that they plan to do, for those 4 years of their lives. There was another American athlete that I watched this morning before I passed out. She was participating in the, I want to say decathlon or heptathlon. Okay, and this poor girl went viral. She was an athlete that had just competed in the long jump, right? And unfortunately, they give you three chances to complete this jump. This girl erred on every last jump of this particular part of this decathlon or whatever. So she got 0 points for that portion of the event, which immediately took her out of any type of contention for anything.
Yeah.
And I watched this girl as she received the news that it's just it's not going to happen for her. I mean, they were talking about how she had 30 some family members out there to watch her compete, and the question that she had to answer was if she was going to continue to compete or not, because she didn't score any points. I watched this girl break down. Her hands were shaking. I mean, my eyes were sweating. So many crazy stories. Victory, heartbreak, defeat. But we all feel connected to these people that we've never even met before. Yeah. Are there any other feel-good stories that anybody want to put out there?
I don't got a feel good, but I got a definite WTF.
Okay.
An Australian field hockey player. Let me see. I can't find his name. But
Wait,
anyway,
hold on 1 second, Mark. Hey, Jana, can you mute that? I think we have a little echo going.
That's probably because, that's fine. I'm in the car. I'm about to get in the house, so I will mute you until you talk to me.
Okay. Go ahead, Mark.
all right. Let's see. Okay. Australian field hockey player Tom Craig. He's a star of the team too. Not the star. I don't know how big of a star, but they call him a star. They were playing their group games, and they had a loss to the Netherlands 2-0. And apparently he was not feeling too good afterwards, and wanted to make himself feel better. So a little after midnight in Paris, they busted him trying to buy cocaine.
What?
Yeah. Got arrested. Of course, he's not going to be able to play the rest of the games, but man, you're out there representing your country, and you get that kind of press. That's not good.
That is insane. There's always got to be one asshole at the Olympic Games, right?
Right.
What was that Olympic swimmer's name for the United States? It was Ryan. The guy that got in trouble down in Brazil.
Ryan Lochte?
Yes. Remember that jerk? He was he was an embarrassment as well. Oh my goodness. I got another WTF, and I went back and forth about whether I'd talk about this tonight, because this has to do with our Ravens.
Uh-oh.
And it's tied into the Olympics.
Oh, no, you bring that up.
I know.
Am I going to do it? Oh, well, all right, I'm going to let Jana do it, because, my soul is hurting behind this. You want to talk about it, Jana?
First and foremost, do I still have an echo? Because I need not have an echo.
No, you are in full effect right now.
When I curse this man out. So one of the most beautiful displays of showmanship and sisterhood.
Respect.
And all those beautiful words. And this asshat, Marlon Humphrey, decides to say, that's disgusting. What do you say? That's disgusting?
Disgusting. Yeah, which is a very interesting choice of words. What?
Exactly. Now, I posted it prematurely. I didn't look anything up. I just wanted to understand. I was like, there has to be context. Please, God, let there be something else.
Something to go with.
Because you know how the media does. They'll take
they'll twist things.
3 words or 10 and spin it into something. And this asshat, again, because this is how he is displayed right now. He's an asshat. He says that this is disgusting. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go on Twitter because this can't be. And damn if it was. I was reading comments, and a lot of them were Portuguese, and I could not read them. But then for him to follow up with, I'm getting cursed out in Brazilian. First of all, asshat, it's Portuguese. Yeah. If you're going to insult them fully and do it correctly.
No, he didn't. No.
And everybody's like, it's Portuguese, jerk. Like, what do you tell? Like,
he doubled down on the ignorance. Right.
Yes. And right. I was like, you know what? I really want to hope that as a parent, as a husband, as an athlete, didn't you win a Super Bowl with us? Was he with us? I don't even remember. That's how little of him I think right now.
Right.
That you could say something so vile against 2/3 black women. Like,
yeah.
And then I think the fact that you're trying to make a joke of it, is it because you got called out so badly? Like, what? Or are you really just this ignorant? In which case, I gotta pause on him right now. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's one of those. It's like one of those unfortunate incidents that you hate to hear about one of the members of your team.
Yeah.
But when you've heard it, it puts such a bad taste in your mouth. Like, it's going to take a little while to rebound from that. It's going to take a big, I don't know, it might take this whole entire season for me to actually support this guy, because, I mean, I'm with you, Jana. I'm like, but did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today?
Yeah.
Like, it was so from left field and so bizarre, because here, this is like one of the times where we regularly see other professional athletes steering on people. You don't regularly see that. There's really nobody, unless they're talking up. I mean, of course, they'll give praise to their own team members or the stars of their own team, but to regularly see other athletes give praise to someone that is not in their sport, or this is the time. And like I said, it's so bizarre, because you are a fellow athlete. You know what it takes, and how and the heart behind it all, and to just.
And can you compound that one more time? As a black man, you have watched them rip apart the Jaws. You've watched them rip apart Gabby Douglas. You've watched them rip apart Simone.
Right.
How many Olympics now? And for you, I mean, I can't rationalize it.
Yeah, it was really upsetting, and I really feel like he let me down. There's no other way to put it. Like, I didn't want to. I kept going back and forth, but I'm so glad you were here to be able to articulate that so much more eloquently than I would have, because I'm pretty sure I would have embarrassed me and Mark with a whole bunch of F-bombs.
And then was worse. So while you're talking, I went back on Twitter, and he's reposting like the current medal count and all these other things. Where I was like, Geno Stone said you just against the country, huh?
Oh, Jesus.
And Marlon retweeted, said low key, they came through. They came through though. I'm sorry. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like,
gosh. Just get off the damn internet. Like,
stay off the internet. Yep.
I was in that original thread too, where he called it disgusting, and people got, they were telling him he was wrong, but there's also people making excuses for him, like get your phone back from your family member and shit like that. But I'll say this, we like Marlon Humphrey because he's a Raven. We always try to like everyone that's a Raven, but we can't like everyone that's a Raven. And Marlon Humphrey, I've been following him on Twitter in a long time, and he's not a stranger to controversy. And
True.
It started a few years ago when it was kind of a funny haha when he said he didn't like mac and cheese, but he tends to go into this more very controversial area way more than he should.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm not on Twitter or X or whatever it's called, so I'm always hearing things that like super late.
Yeah.
And so this guy makes a habit of showing his ass.
Yeah. He says stupid stuff all the time.
That is very interesting to learn today. Doesn't excuse him because we're in the age of accountability.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what other topics, because I just saw something, speaking of Twitter/X, it would always be Twitter to me,
Right.
that you haven't brought up yet, which is fine with the current nature of conversation.
Sure.
But can I throw a topic out there?
Yeah, please. Absolutely.
Noah Lyles won't be competing anymore.
What?
Noah Lyles has announced he will. Now, this was an hour ago. He announced he will not be competing for the remainder of the Paris Olympics.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you saw the men's 200 today.
Yes, I did.
He didn't.
Shout out to Kung Fu Kenny.
Yes. He didn't seem to get the best start. A lot of people on Instagram are like, he did more strenuous activity coming out the tunnel. Like, yeah, they were kind of leaning into him. But again, that was something that I saw briefly, and then I did see the race. I didn't see him coming out of the tunnel, but I saw the race. I saw the after, where the medics were checking him out. We know that he has asthma amongst other things. So I didn't know if he was having an asthma attack, because he looked like he just asked for water. He didn't look like he was in distress of breathing, but it was taking him a while to catch his breath. So they decided to take a look at him. That was, I don't know, maybe 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon, and I haven't seen a TV since, so I'm just now looking at Twitter to look up Asshat's Twitter feed to see if he said something else stupid. And I see that. So I didn't know if that was on the agenda.
Well,
but apparently he is not competing anymore.
The New York Times is reporting that, and I guess it's true, that when after the 200 meters, Noah Lyles actually said that he had tested positive for COVID-19. So I guess that's why he's pulling out.
Yeah, and okay, so here I go. You know me, okay. Oh wait. Go ahead.
No. I'm gonna let you rock first, and then I will.
Okay. This guy did a whole lot of talking prior to showing up at Paris. Okay, and doing that is always a dangerous thing to do. That is why people say, if you're going to talk that shit, quote unquote shit, you better be able to back it up, especially in this day and age, because the internet is relentless. The people are relentless and unforgiving. Now, I watched this race too. Now, granted, I'm just like you. I did not see this gentleman jump out, but from what I understand, this guy made a complete spectacle when they were lining up and everything like that. And COVID was not a problem then. So I did watch after the race. He was kind of going through the drama. He laid out on the ground and he was just all rolling around and everything like that. And I'm like, okay, you're a younger guy, but dude, and this might be, sexist of me to say, I hope y'all don't slam me for it, but take your bronze medal like a man. Like, that's just how I felt about it. You know what I mean? Like, bronze is still winning. You're not a loser.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's because the amount of shit that he talked, you know, he felt a certain type of way about that. But, you know, let me know what you're seeing on Twitter.
Well, this one in particular. So after you get your personal medals, you're going to leave your teammates in the 4x100 hanging?
Yeah,
For
that's
2 days
not
he had COVID. Why didn't he pull out of the 200? Man's not concerned about nobody but himself. Selfish.
Right.
What are your thoughts, Mark? I'm interested to hear what you think about this.
It's just interesting that 2 days before he had broken the world record in the 100-meter, and then suddenly, like, because we all know COVID as a disease, it's not gonna affect you right away. And he even said he started feeling sick a couple days before, so he must have been having symptoms the day of the 100-meter.
Yeah.
For it to be like that effective now, today, I don't know. I just really wish they wouldn't have said anything about this, because to me, it makes it look worse. Like, I don't know. It's like almost like, you know, I halfway want to call you a sore loser. And you know what? And in regards to that comment about, you know, leaving your team, yeah, this guy is leaving his team, but guess what? There's an alternate out there whose dream just came true.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, that person will rise to the challenge, and that will give this particular athlete, the boost that he needs to push the team to the gold medal. Like, I really feel like that this is going to be another one of those feel-good stories that comes out because of somebody else's bullshit. You know, which is, I'm going to go ahead and say it, like, yo, I'm very disappointed in this gentleman, because I watched the Sprint documentary on Netflix. That's how I became familiar with him. I mean, he's got a very huge bravado. He's got a big ego. And, you know, part of having that big ego, you still got to stand tall when you've come short, you know. And dropping out, that's shocking to me. That is really shocking, because I was really expecting him to be like, okay, I might have dropped this one, but guess what? I'm gonna jam the rest of the week, but I guess not.
Mm-hmm.
Very disappointing. What the hell is going on out here, you guys? That is just so disappointing. Okay, well, listen, we got a few minutes left. Let's talk about the Ravens. We are in the middle of a storm. It's raining right now, but the Ravens are supposed to be playing tomorrow against the Philadelphia Eagles. They are coming here. First preseason game of the preseason. Everybody knows that the Ravens' preseason history is pretty much stellar. We've got one loss in I don't know, it's been almost a decade, some crap, maybe half a decade. It's been quite a while. It's been some years, right? So we've always done well in the preseason. I'm hoping that, you know, this season they'll follow suit. I have to ask both of you guys, you know, the coach, big Coach Harbaugh, said that we will not be seeing our recent acquiring, the recent player that we acquired, the biggest player that we acquired in the offseason, Derrick Henry. We won't be seeing him in all this preseason, nor will we see Lamar Jackson. How do you guys feel about that? I'm sorry, Mark. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's rainy and it's preseason. I'd rather not see him myself. You know what I mean?
Well, they're saying this preseason at all, period, not one game.
Oh, okay, so that's my fault, because I didn't hear all of it.
No, we won't see them at all this preseason.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. They gotta get some reps in somewhere, but
yeah, Mark, I don't know if you remember us talking about this last season, how this is kind of becoming a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's. Go ahead.
there's only 3 games now for the preseason, so yeah, I kind of understand the guys that are on the bubble, the guys that you want more looks at, give them more playing time, and you already know who your starters are going to be, pretty much.
Right.
True.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I'd like to see them get, even if it's just like one series, get a couple reps in there. But I mean, I see your point. I do see your point, Mark. I mean, they did take away one more game, and that previously that last game of the season was kind of like, the dress rehearsal for the regular season. So yeah, you want to make sure you want to get good looks, but I mean, but then I go back on that too, because it's like, okay, you practice with these guys every day. You watch them, in practice. Now, granted, it's not like full blown games, but I mean, you're constantly watching these guys, and watching practice tape and everything. I mean, these guys' work ethic and what they can bring. I don't know. I just was. I mean, I ain't even thinking about Lamar Jackson right now. This is more so about Derrick Henry. I just like to see what he's got going on right now. I mean, I know what Lamar's going to bring to the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see Derrick Henry.
How are they planning to, utilize him? How he's going to fit into this model? But I guess we're just going to, and then also on top of that, our first regular season game is against the Chiefs. This is a game that we have to win, you guys.
Well,
you're right. So waiting until then is not going to.
That kind of.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That kind of makes it make more sense that we got the Chiefs first up, so we definitely don't want to give them any looks at how we use Derrick Henry.
Okay, I'll go with that too. Okay, I see your point there. All I know is they better go up there and they better go up there and do the damn thing. Because like I said, this is a game that we have to win. Now, Jana, you are, you're always the plug on everything. I've given you, I came up with a new name for you. I haven't told you yet, but I'm just going to tell you now. I love it. I can't believe I haven't come up with this sooner, but honestly, Mark, Jana is Sports Bay. She is Sports Bay because she just comes through with everything athletic and just keeps me in the loop even when I am struggling. And there are a lot of times when I'm struggling to stay on top of everything. But in regards to this first game against the Chiefs, Jana let me know that they're going to be having a watch party at Raven Stadium for the first game, right, Jana?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and do you want to put a few details out about that? Like, what is it like? First come, first. Go ahead.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's first come, first serve. It is open seating. I have wanted them to do this for years, and they didn't. So that's why I'm like, I have to see this. I'm not working. I have to be. I mean, because it's bigger than me and my little ideas. You know what I mean? So it's like, somebody. There's a lot to execute. So I was like, all right, let me, I'll be quiet. But I really hope we do this one day. So I'm so happy that they are. It is obviously first game. I am actually going to the text now to open the link because I don't want to miss any details. But I know doors open at 6. Doors open. Free parking in lots B or C. What else? Oh, here it is. Okay. So.
Free parking. That's good to know. I didn't
$25 tickets, but with the fee, it is $30 through SeatGeek.
Right.
It is open seating. The gates open at 6. It goes until midnight. There is a performance by Quinn I don't know who this guy is. I'm not even gonna try and butcher the Latin the Roman numerals after his name. I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, there's performance pregame by a guy whose name I don't know. Let's see, there will be appearances by Ravens legends, cheerleaders, a drone show at halftime. The performance begins at 7:20, kickoff is at 8:20, and I just think that you guys should all be there. Oh, they're giving away a schedule magnet. Parking is free in lot B and C, and all is right with the world because I'm so excited they're doing this. So
yeah, and Jana and I will be out there in full effect, so get your ticket. Come out there. Yeah. We're going to have a good time. And like I said, I've been telling everybody, this game is so important because this is how we ended our season.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I am ready to bet my year's salary that people are going to be emotionally charged out there for this game.
Yeah,
for this game. I mean, we got the debut of the King, and Lamar Jackson, who I've read that he's taken off a couple of pounds, which I think will make him a little bit faster and a little more agile. So there's lots of good things to look forward to this season, especially with that first game. Is there anything other in Ravens news or anything that interests you over the past week that you'd like to put out there, Mark?
Nothing I can think of. Just anxious to get this season going.
Yeah, I think we're all sitting on pins and needles and counting down the days. I mean, I think the countdown started when we all walked out of the Ravens Stadium, the AFC Championship game.
Right.
It was rough. It was rough.
Didn't that disappointment just last for months?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I definitely did not want to see anything. I didn't want to wear. I don't think I even wore purple in that week at work. Like, I was so angry. I just can't right now.
I mean, hell, I was on the news, and I didn't even want to look at myself. Like, I was like, that's how hurt I was. I didn't even want, people are telling me, you're on the news? I'm like, oh, yeah, fuck that. I don't care. But, yeah, man, I mean, but, I got my fingers crossed. I got extremely high hopes. I really do feel like, Derrick Henry is the missing piece that will really help elevate this Ravens team, man, because, that and, with our young bucks getting that season, that championship run season, because, I mean, we didn't make it, but we made a hell of a run. Like, getting that experience is so valuable and will make all of the difference. I really do. I think we're built and we're geared for some big success this year. Please, sweet baby Jesus. I can't put it any other way. But I am not going to talk about the Orioles right now because they make me want to jump out a window. So we're going to save that for next week, everybody. But what I would like to say is
you ain't never lied.
I'm going to get off right now because my parents there's a possibility they could be listening right now if I get myself into any more trouble than I am. But, like I said, you guys, we'll talk about that next week when Keisha has the mental bandwidth to talk about the Orioles. Jana, honey.
Can I interject one of the final topic maybe? So
sure.
I hate to bring them up, but the Kardashians have a family tradition that is very cool, and it's the pit in the peak of whatever is going on, right? So I have a pit and a peak. So the pit, Ravens related, losing our beloved Jacoby Jones via heart condition.
Yeah.
I can't. I know it's myopathy. I can't remember the beginning, but get yourselves checked out, folks, because yeah, I mean, I know when it's your time, but like, you know, get yourself checked out. So first and foremost, rest in heaven to him. Blessings to his family, all those that loved him, and I hope that he will be our angel, pushing us along this season. As I don't know if you saw Lamar's interview, that he wants to win the Super Bowl for him in New Orleans, since that's where since Jacoby's from there. So that is my tip. But my peak, which I have yet to send to you guys, and I don't know if you saw it on Front Office Sports, but on LinkedIn, I reposted a video of these Seattle Mariners outfielder, Mitch Haniger, organized a reverse signing where the kids from the Children's Hospital signed autographs for the players.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So, are you trying to make my eyes sweat?
I am not, but I am going to send it to two of you so you can see it. I fell in love with this, and I was like, I know those kids felt like rock stars. That these guys that they look up to and watch, you know, them play this sport that they love, and they're getting the kids' autographs. Like, I just thought that was sweet. So that's my pit and my peak.
Oh my gosh, that is the ultimate act of humility, man. It's just
right. That's awesome.
Oh,
so definitely, I just sent you the video. It's from
I got it.
Sports. But yeah, I love that, and I wanted to like share that.
Yeah, that is great. And I think that's a great way to end the show. Jana, thank you so much for taking the time. We know that, I mean, like I said, you're sports based, so you've always got a full schedule. You've always got something going on. So, you know, Mark and I really do appreciate you taking the time to chop it up with us and the Outsiders tonight, man. You know, we always appreciate you. We love you too, man. And Mark, my man, my favorite slice of pizza, you already know what it is. Like he said in the beginning of the show, share that link, share that love. You can always replay it back on Facebook as well as YouTube. You know how we end this show, Baltimore spread love, yo. It's still the Olympics. Tune in for those athletes. Tune in for your country. This is the 2 weeks of our lives. The reoccurring 2 weeks where we all become patriots again. You know, we just set aside all the bullshit, all the politics of everything, and all come together as one, as Americans. America! You know, so, you know, let's keep everything going. And we'll be back next week with the conclusion of the Olympic Games. We'll wrap things up, JABO way. And like I said, you know, I'll make time for these Orioles. I just don't know anymore. Mark, I just don't know. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Enjoy the rest of your week. I am Keisha, and on the other end of my line is my man Mark. We are just a bit outside. Good night, everybody.